I think that's the right microphones. I want to welcome everybody to the stream. This is Music and Gear. On this channel, we review, I guess, more guitars than anything else. We have had some requests in the past to do other things, but sometimes, guys, you have to pick your battles. You gotta kind of stick with, I'm going to stick with what I'm good at. I'm not a very good amp reviewer, if that makes sense. I feel that I'm decent at reviewing guitars just simply due to my background. And I think we do a really good job. This Saturday night stream, it's...
You got the mic too low.
It's too low? Yeah, guys, we've had to make changes. OBS says I am right
Well,
clipping.
I don't know where it is on your shirt. It might be too low on your shirt.
Yeah, OBS says we are right at clipping. So if you guys have gotten used to not turning up your volumes, you may have to just turn up your volumes a little bit. Now, I did some research on it, and I need to be right at the red line. Now, I can punch it up just a little bit more because, believe it or not, we are below Unity. But right there, I'm getting a red mark in the meters. So take that for what it is. Technically speaking, right now as I speak, it's hitting red. If I do any more than that, I think we may be clipping. And I spent quite a bit of time adjusting it. And I think I've went back and listened to some streams. Sometimes we get that sweet spot. And I'm hearing myself in the background.
Yeah, that was my fault.
We've got some open cameras. We also did some other changes as far as our interface. We've been having some clicking and popping issues. So we've went back to an older interface, and that's fine. It's a learning experience, guys. But this new camera, today I sat down. The only thing that I'm not liking, this is a Holy Land.
Holly.
Yeah. The box is literally right there. Let me grab the box real quick and I'll go over the camera. Now, they have the Venus Air 2, which is the second gen of this camera. I did not get the 2. I got version 1. Version 1 from my application, I think, works better. And let me switch cameras, and maybe the other camera will actually show you what it is. And, of course, it's hidden. So let me try another camera. So you can see it right here. It's a big, huge cube. And the unit above it is the wireless microphone unit. So today I tried to, if you look at the color, look at this camera. It's something in the blues, okay? The blues just seem to be more, I don't know, punchy. And this camera has kind of a yellow color to it. And I did try to go through some of the settings and adjust the color. It's far more advanced. It has shutter speeds, aperture. You're changing the aperture makes the room brighter and darker. And instead of having like a general hue, you have it's like 15 different colors and you can change the hue on every color. It's pretty cool. So that's the only issue that I think I have with the camera. But the image quality is super sharp. It just seems a little dull. Everything looks darker, okay? The cream on the walls look a little darker, but it does show all my drywall patches in the walls, like around my light switch over here. Because this door used to swing the opposite direction. So all my switches used to be on this side. and I changed the swing of the door to swing the opposite direction. It just made more sense. So I had to rewire everything, and I've never repainted this room. Just like on this wall, if you look, there's a huge patch on the wall from the from the furnace piece. So now you can actually start to see all the patches where I haven't painted.
Wicked Fester said looks great.
Yeah, the image quality here is far better. To give you an idea of these cameras, this camera right here, this Venus, they're 550. Okay, and before you say it's hateful, what I was told to buy was a Canon R8, and that's really the first mirrorless camera that I think, talking to multiple people, that would stream for 2.5 hours without overheating and shutting down. The problem with the mirrorless cameras is just that. The image quality is good. They projecting, it's just they get hot. There's no battery in this camera, which if you noticed in the GoPros that I used to use, they would thermally shut down and cause problems. So I stopped using those and I went to the Mevos. The issue that I have with the Mevos is they would just gray out and do weird things. But the image quality on the wireless Mevo, that's a sharp image quality. Now that's a wireless Mevo. And this one is a wireless Mevo. The image quality, I think, is great with this camera. The issue is it goes gray sometimes. If it doesn't go gray, I would love it. I love the color in the camera. But the problem is, this is a Mevo hardwired. And instantly you can see the image quality isn't that good. This one doesn't gray out, but the image quality isn't that good. So I'm hoping this new camera will be much better. Now, it appears to be a little on the darker side, and I've talked to one person about it at Sweetwater, and they said higher quality cameras have a deeper, I guess, hue to it. Maybe I've gotten used to the other.
Jerry said S23 is the setup. Shoots 4K at several speeds and no overheating.
I think I know which one you're thinking about, and I picked this one over that one. I think that one was like 350 or 400. I think if it's the one I'm thinking about, I forget who makes it, the company. I did look at them. The issue with some of the ones below this price point is they're not NDI compatible. You can't link them. And there's a couple other little things. They do not accept SMPTE code.
Jerry said Snag 4 refurbished with warranty under $1,000.
Yeah, you gotta, in my case, I have to have something that has a Cat 5e output so I can interlink them. And
he was talking about his phone, Samsung S23 phone.
Oh, okay. There was a company that's doing, like, it's an S3, an S5, and an S7. The S7 does have the port. I forget the manufacturer, but I decided not. That one was $700, and I didn't see where it did more than this one. So I bit the bullet and bought this one. I'm hoping that it's going to be okay. The drawback that I see with this one, you have to use their proprietary software to get it to output a signal. It's designed to be a camera. I don't need OBS or anything. You plug this camera into your computer and you stream. And the software it comes with allows you to use their software to stream to YouTube, TikTok, and all this simultaneously. You don't need OBS. The drawback is you have to use that software to get it to have an output. So when I buy another camera, will that software run two cameras and send two independent signals to OBS? Or will I need to just use the Venus Live Air input and then switch between the cameras and the other software? You can get pretty much anything to work, but whatever platform you're using, It needs to kind of work with everything. Just like when you hear people go, well, I got an HX Stomp, so I went ahead and bought the rack mount Helix. Why? Because they can write something in the rack mount Helix and they can download it to their Stomp and go out and play. As long as the Stomp has enough horsepower to play that preset. You see it in Fractal Audio. Fractal Audio has their Cadillac rack mount unit, then they have like an FM3, and then the FM9. So whatever you program on the one, you can transfer to your other. So OBS works the exact same way with cameras and NDI software. You got to try to find things that are in that architecture so they work together. I love my Line 6 Stomp. The issue that I have with the Line 6 Stomp is just horsepower. It just doesn't have much horsepower. And I can't say too much about it because that thing's been out now for like 8 years. And they've yet to update the DSP and the memory and stuff on it. I know Helix Line 6 just come out with a new stadium. Maybe we're going to see an updated Stomp that allows us to put more stuff, in our effects chain and use better quality effects. What I've seen is there's some reverbs in this Line 6 Stomp that are phenomenal. The drawback is if you select that phenomenal reverb, you can use a cab sim and an amplifier, and that's about it. It's using all the horsepower for that really nice reverb. So if you want to have, let's say, chorus, reverb, delay, an EQ, an amp, you're not picking the best effects. You're picking something that has less draw on the processor so it can do it. I get it. When I bought this one, it was $550. I think they're up to like $700 now. Now, I am still in the market for a better unit, and I am seriously looking for a company that will just do a rack mount cab sim and amp sim. I really don't need a processor. I've got a heck of an amplifier behind me. I would have no issues at all taking the BBE and the SGX 2000 and running it in line with some kind of rack mount, something that would emulate my cabinet and my power amp. I just haven't found one. The little NuX Pulse I have, it seems to do pretty good. I've done it. I don't know. It just like the board. I was in analog for many, many years, and I switched to a Behringer board. Huge, huge learning curve. Maybe it's time. What have I said about the difference between my Mackie and this Behringer board? I think the Mackie just had a warmer sound to it. It was just, it just had a sound, okay? I'm not downing my Behringer. The horsepower and the effects and the things that this Behringer wing rack does far surpasses my old Mackie analog board. But if I had to sit and listen to it and do recording on it, I can hear the Mackie just felt warmer. And the way it clipped differently. And that's what I've been struggling with the popping. I would say a lot of it has to do with how I have the signal chain run through the Behringer and how I'm used to running the meters up to a certain point and going, okay, this is as far as I can go. Maybe these new Midas preamps don't like that. So I am trying to get better. I did hear one pop already, but it's already far better tonight than it has been. So if I get one pop every 10 minutes versus one pop every 2 minutes, that means I've done something to make it a little better. And I changed some architecture in it, and I went through and changed some settings, brought things down, and that's why you all are saying, well, now I've got to push my mics up. I think I was just putting too much output and turning up the gains on every channel too much really trying to push that signal out to OBS. And I've done it in different ways now. So it's capable. It's just this guy here needs to learn how to use it. If you can't tell, you guys can pick on me. I'm playing Linnell's guitar tonight. We've got quite a few guitars here, and I'm going to say that this is the lightest guitar that we own. This guitar is like stupid light. And I always forget, this guitar is 100% stock. I always forget how good these guitars actually are, just directly from Ibanez. It's actually quite impressive what these guitars do. It's got a heck of a sound. I worked on my sounds too. I tried to get some of my gain settings a little better. It has less pop. Something I've noticed with the Line 6 Stomp, it gets a real artificial sound when you crank up the gain. And I've turned down the gains on a lot of these settings. Trying to give it a more natural sound. I hear it a little bit right there. It's got a fake clatter to it. We've got a couple settings. Let me move my Holy Land box there. I can't see my... Got a couple different ones I worked on today. So this one we kind of tweaked on. Now this is my highest gain setting. That's as good as I can get it. It's still got a little clicky to it.
DMT says if the gain is too high, it sounds crackly.
Yeah, that's what it gets crackly. This isn't crackling too much. It's got a little bit in it, but I can't seem to get the gain and all of it out. It's pretty good. I'm going to continue to tweak on it. These pickups are the Quantums by Ibanez, And they do have a little bit of an ice picky sound when you overgain them. But all in all, I think it's pretty good. So I didn't just do the one guitar. What I was trying to do, we review guitars. So I wanted to try to find something that would kind of go with a bunch of different pickups. Not kind of, I mean, this is the exact opposite of what you guys should be doing. You want to set it up for your guitar to get the best possible sound out of your guitar. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you want to do. But doing a review, you need to kind of hear what each guitar does under a setting you guys are used to hearing. And the past couple of months, we've been kind of bouncing all over the place. And so here's the exact same sound with like about an 8.5K or 9K Seymour Duncan. You can hear it instantly got a little cleaner. Other than the guy playing, it's okay.
You said the high crackle was gone with that.
Yeah, and that you can sit there and tune. Let's say I tuned it with this guitar and I get the crackle out. Then I plug this one in, it just falls flat on its face. Well, the point in the demo is to find a high gain channel that works kind of across the board, and then you'll get a better representation of, oh, the pickups are doing something weird. Oh, no, it's just this amplifier. Well, it could be. But if I stick with the exact same sound and you get that, then you'll go, yeah, under high gain, that pickup gets kind of a scratchy. The harmonics jump with this setting with these pickups. You got to attack the guitar a little bit more with the quantums. It's decent. So I was taking this guitar, and believe it or not, my Schecter that has those long pickups on it, and I was trying to find something that worked across the board. So I'm continuing to dial it in. And guys, this is something that you all can do too. But what you got to do, you almost have to record it. You know, I didn't do that today, so I was unplugging one, plugging this one in, trying to. If you go back and you record it, there's been nights that we've done streams, and I hear what my headphones are doing. And I'm like, something sounds really weird. And I go back and I listen to the stream, and it's like, holy mackerel, that was a good tone. But in my headphones and in the room playing it, it did not feel alive, if that makes sense. It didn't make me want to go faster or do pinch harmonics. It didn't give me that feel of, yeah, I'm playing aggressively and the guitar is responding. when I watch the video, it's like, ooh, it did respond. And that's an answer or a question for you guys. Why is that? Why is it sometimes, if you've recorded yourself and you're like, man, that was awful, the guitar was dead, it didn't feel right, and you go back and listen to it, it's like, holy shit, that thing sounds awesome. If you knew your back side sounded awesome, would you continue to play that patch even though in your headphones and in the room it wasn't alive? Because you play differently when you don't have that connection. Could you get through it even though you know, okay, I don't hear this, but I know on the back end it's good? I don't know how you guys feel about that. There's a side of me that says in recording, I would deal with it. If I knew the end result was decent, I would push through it and try to do the best I could. But the other side of me is I'm a field player. So I want to be able to feel what the guitar is doing, and that pushes me to do something creative, if that makes sense. That's why I have a couple different guitars. I'll pick up the Telecaster, and it pushes me to play a different way. So I guess that's what I wanted to kind of talk about tonight was amps, amp models, and do you feel a connection between it? And when you do get that connection, is it a sound that you think, is it something that you can make work? Oh, I thought you were getting ready to say something. Steve-O, we need Avery as the hamburger and the title him the guitar burglar. This guitar is hard to get that one, and I don't know why. And something else, the springs on this bridge, on this particular guitar, they've got them cranked. So I'm used to kind of playing the other guitar. So that on the other guitar would make it go woo woo. So I grab this one, and I get absolutely nothing. Because even though I'm hitting it like that, it's really not doing anything, and I drop my pick. So now I gotta grab another. We'll see how long it takes me to run out of picks. And that throws me off. It's really firm. So I think what I need to do is go back inside this guitar.
Kurt said he thinks the Yamaha sounds better than the Ibanez.
It does sound better, but it should. This guitar here, is not quite twice the price of the Ibanez. So this guitar's map price is like $850, and I don't see this particular version go on sale that much. I think this is the 612 with the pretty fire top on it, plain maple top. This particular one has it's loaded with Seymour Duncans. It's got the nice electronics in it, full-size pots and stuff. You have to go back and look at the review. This is a well decked out guitar, locking tuners, wherein the Ibanez, it's got the quantum pickups, which is like Ibanez's clone DiMarzio pickups. It's got the cheaper tuners. I guess it's a hardtail bridge. And I think the Ibanez retails at like $479. So this guitar should play better. It should sound better. It really should. And it does. The feel on the guitar. It has a better feel, but the action and the way the strings pull off is much different. And I can't tell you why, because the action height on both guitars is about the same, but they play a lot differently, if that makes sense. I was going to sell this guitar, but this is a freaking nice guitar. So I don't think I'm going to sell it. Every time I play it, it's if someone's got an answer on that one, you see what I'm doing. If I drop tune down, it finds it immediately, but if you play it, of course, you down tuned, it's going to go out. If I down tune down a little bit, and I bring it up just a little bit, sometimes the string will go up even higher. The Seymours do well in both positions. If we split the coil, yeah, this is a great guitar. Yamaha really doesn't get enough love. I know you guys commented on the Black Pacifica review that we did, but Yamaha makes great products, guys. They really do. This particular guitar, it's just a solid, well-built guitar. The only thing of it is that right there. And when we do reviews, I always bring up, did they get the Allen screw set right? And this one is not. The tremolo bar falls out. And the reason I haven't adjusted it, if you look at how it's made, and I don't know why this is, there's no collet up here, okay? The lock screw to hold the tensioner is underneath the guitar on the side. And it's the dumbest thing, because guess what? Since it's down in there, it's on the side, you can't get the Allen wrench down in there because the block is in the way this way, and the guitar body's in the way this way. So the only way to make an adjustment to this bushing so the bar doesn't fall out, you got to take the strings, loosen them, take all these screws out, and pull the tremolo out, make the adjustment, and put it back in. If someone has a better way of doing it, or a fancy tool that'll make that, there's only about that much room in there. I guess I could take an Allen wrench and grind the whole end down. You'd have to grind it down to about 3/16 of an inch to get it in the side. I guess that would be the better way of doing it.
Kurt said the whammy bar needs Velcro, duh.
Velcro, duh. But that's the only thing that I see that's kind of stupid as far as the design. Why would you put the Allen block down in there where you can't adjust it? It's a Wilkinson bridge.
And Mikey said, don't sell it, you'll regret it, and the new one costs too much to replace it.
Yeah. I really shouldn't sell this one anyway because Linnell bought me this guitar. So it was a funny honey present to me. And she knew that I liked Seymour Duncan pickups and I wanted something like a working man's guitar. And everyone knows the HSS, that's what this is. You can get so many different sounds out of it. And for Christmas, she got me this and a beautiful tweed case for it. And it is. Look at the body on the freaking thing. It truly is a beautiful guitar. And the neck, the wood, everything about it's really pretty on it. And I think if you go back and watch the last Thursday night's review when we did all the HSS guitars, this guitar sounded better than the more expensive Pacifica. But I'm going to qualify. The more expensive Pacifica, the arm carve here is better, and this right here is better, how the seat is made. It's a lot more comfy when you get down into your higher notes and you're playing lead. Is this one bad? Absolutely not. You can still get to all those stupid high notes. But you got to be a better guitar player than me. I'm not a lead guitar player, and some of you guys have made that comment. I'm not. I was always the rhythm guitar player in bands.
Jupe said, now I need to buy you a new bridge for it.
You know, the Wilkinson bridge is okay. It's peculiar looking with these big long saddles and the way the intonation screws are set up on it. But I can't say too much about it. It works well. I think I just need to soften the springs because the way it's set up now is it decks the tremolo to the body. Having a hard night tonight, guys. I'm going to set this thing down before I embarrass myself even more. I need another guitar stand is what I need. Hold on for a sec, guys. Let me put this thing up on the wall. So just FYI, this coming Thursday, there won't be a Tech Talk with Brian. If you missed last Thursday, Brian's going on vacation, and it's everyone at Shenandoah Music, so it's kind of strange. You know, I get it. It's a smaller store. But once a year, they literally shut down for a week, and everyone goes on vacation. And there's several years now I've been thinking, it's like, well, why don't this guy take a vacation this week? Store stays open. And in a month, the other guy take a vacation. But no, they literally, everyone takes their vacation the same week and the store closes. That's a unique way of doing it. I don't think I've ever heard of that. But they're closed next week, so everyone, Matt, Jason, Brian, what's some of the other ones' names? I forget they're going to shoot me.
Tanner.
Yeah, Tanner.
I can't think of the other couple guys' names.
Yeah, there's two more guys and a girl.
Oh, I think Jen is...
Jen, right. Yeah. And then there's two other people. Sorry if you're watching. Can't remember.
It's probably actually more convenient for them. That way they, they're not low on employees when one goes on vacation and maybe one has to work longer or whatever. So it's probably more convenient.
I guess. It just, I don't think I know another company that does it that way. It's different. So next week, everyone's off. So Brian won't be here next week for Tech Talk. So I don't really know what we're going to do.
He be catfishing.
Yeah, he's going to go catfishing. So updates, Trucker Bob's wiring is done on his guitar. That's pretty much the only update I have on that. I know there were some issues with the single coil between the two humbuckers as far as phasing. We're going to have to see how that works out. A lot of those parts were kind of stuck together. And I know Brian had mentioned that there was some concern as far as the phasing with the parts. The boost switch is in it. What's that?
When you get done, you need to share the Discord pictures.
Uh-oh. Okay, if you don't know, we have a Discord, and people post pretty funny pictures of me, or they modify things.
Oh my God.
What's your name on?
General?
General? Oh my gosh. Well, what's up with the guitar with the 3 heads? Which one do you want me to do? The last one?
Well, there's
like 3.
There's 1, 2, 3.
Well,
4.
no, I got red hair on the one. So let me show you guys what we got here.
There's 4.
Okay, so here's what we got. This is our Discord. I got some red hair and a big beard playing the Pacifica. And then here's the guitar burglar. I kind of like me with the little hat first. Oh my God.
It's all these Dear Linnell, wanted by Linnell. Oh, that's funny.
You guys are funny, man. I kind of like the center one. This one right here. I like this one. Always stealing Linnell's guitars. Yeah, I don't think I'm that bad, am I, guys? I try not to be. And we were just talking about that earlier. I thought I was playing her S model, and I really like the S model and the RGAs. And I put it back up, and I said, I'm going to get me one of these. And I looked down, and I'm like, you know what? We already have one. You know, it's kind of like what's hers is mine, and what's mine is hers. Yeah, I know we talk, well, this is my guitar, and I don't care if I'm at work and she picks up my Schecter or the Fender over here. I mean, what difference does it make? It doesn't concern me whatsoever. I tried to show her how to get the rack and stuff to work when the one amplifier was hooked into that. She didn't have too much interest in it. That's why we bought the GTX for her. Because she could just literally plug her guitar in it, turn the power on, and turn the knob. It's really that simple. She doesn't have to get into the effects. It's got 200 different sounds. And she just turns the knob until she gets a sound she likes. And when she's done, she unplugs, turns it off. And it's simple, and that's a nice little amp. So we got her that. But if she wants to plug in my Telecaster behind me in it and jam on the Telecaster, it's the exact same principle why I bought it. It sounds different. So if she wants to plug into that thing and play, maybe some chicken picking.
No, you don't have to worry about me messing with that Telecaster.
Dude, she plays some mean metal chicken picking. I'm telling you. I'm getting into that, guys. I've been listening to this new, I don't know, it's like a cross between bluegrass, country, southern rock, metal type stuff. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm really kind of getting into it. I don't know if you guys have been listening to some of these newer groups that are kind of, it's like a fusion of like country and metal and jazz, and it's not just metal focused. I've heard this jazz oriented country too, and it's like when they take I can't play it, but every style of music has a certain sound and a way of picking and a melodic structure that makes it sound that way. Well, imagine country and pushing it like they did jazz versus blues. They took blues and just I've listened to a couple of these artists doing that. It's kind of like, wow, that's really cool. Now, I'm a musician, so maybe it's just me kind of going, wow, I appreciate that. How listenable is it to the average audience? I don't know. I think some of these, like country metal bands, to me, it's extremely listenable. The country jazz
even a
stuff,
word?
kind of not so much. What's that, hon?
I said, is that even a word?
Shunned at the funeral?
No, listenable? Is that even a word?
I don't know if it's listenable. Tolerable. How about that? Is it tolerable? Shunned at the funeral. Yeah, they're pretty good. I'll be honest with you. I think there's a lot of AI and artificial creation in some of their music, and I could be completely wrong. But Shunned at the funeral, I'm gonna say there's definitely a little AI going on in some of their music. And I could be wrong about that, but I have a feeling that there's a little AI going on. And that's fine. I can kind of listen to the structure, and it sounds predictable in some cases. And I've noticed that with AI, because our jingle is AI. And if you listen to it, it's very predictable. The structure and the way. There's another thing you got to listen to, it's the tuning. AI is too perfect. So if you listen to some of the Shunned at a funeral, it's almost too perfect sounding in some of the transitions. Maybe I'm wrong. If you guys disagree with me, there's a. It's like when someone uses the vocal correction and it evens out and changes the pitch of the vocalist a little bit. This has been going on for years, guys. It's nothing new. I think maybe they're just using a little too much of it and auto pitch correction. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just they're using auto pitch correction a little too much, and that's what I'm picking up. But yeah, their music sounds awesome. I do like their music. The whole thing is AI. Okay. Three Girls Are Two. Okay, well that makes sense. I didn't know that was an AI band. So I nailed it. Something seemed a little off to me. It just seemed too structured, and some of the transitions, if you listen to the guitar, it's kind of like, how could you do that? I'm not saying you couldn't do it, but it kind of threw me. I'm like, how are they going from there to there and making that work? I've noticed that with a couple things. We need an Avery Linnell duet.
Duet.
Guys, Linnell doesn't even play in front of me. I'm just putting it out there. She refuses. I don't think I have, maybe once, in the last 2 years, have I seen a guitar in her hands. She does it while I'm at work. Now, I think I've had a guitar in there, and I've handed it to her, and she's just kind of strummed it a little bit and looked at it. But as far as her playing it and playing a song, or me hearing her practice, I'm going to almost say I don't think I've ever heard her practice. And you guys are like, what? Just so you guys know, we have a very traditional relationship. Her job is the house, pay the bills, do the cooking, do the laundry, do all the stuff that I don't have time to do because I'm down in the city working. And by the time I get up in the morning, work my time, and come back, I'm done. So they're both jobs.
Mikey said closet player.
I guess, but she doesn't. Since I'm not here, she doesn't have to go in the closet and play. She can just play right here in the living room. So that's the relationship that we have.
Yeah, the only one that hears me tinker is little one, and I don't think she really hears anything because she's got her headphones on.
Right. So little one is here because she's homeschooled. She doesn't go to public school. We're not going down the public school rabbit hole, but she doesn't go to public schools. So she's homeschooled, and that's another reason why it works. Linnell's here, so it works for us. And as long as we can do it, we want to do that. And if you're struggling and you're having issues, it's not a sermon, it's just a thought. Try to get your bills to the point where one person in your family can work. You would probably be surprised. I'm not saying it'll be great for the person that is working, but you're both working. You got to view it that way. I think if you can do that, it takes a lot of what we go through in today's world out of the equation. And I'm like everyone else. I mean, look at how many guitars we have. Do I need that many guitars? Absolutely not. I don't need one guitar. You don't need a guitar. And I hate to say that. If things get horrible, you don't need a guitar. You need a roof over your head. You need transportation, food. Those are the things you need. So when it comes to wants and things that we enjoy, you need a guitar to play. It's a luxury item past that. And when you look here, we're fortunate. And I know I'm fortunate. But we try to keep a cap on it, so it's just me working, if that makes sense. And as long as we can do that, I think it's much better. I don't know how you guys feel about it. You know, some people, you know, they're like, well, if both of you worked, how much better it would be. Would it be? I mean, really? I don't know if it would be. I think it would be worse. That's just how we take it. And opinions are like anything else. It's just like reviewing equipment. You do you. You know, I'm just saying, I see it a lot. I see it with the people that I work with, okay? And they're stressed out because they've got so much on them, they have to work 7 days a week. You know, they kind of did it to themselves, and I've done it to myself. I had a huge house in West Virginia with a lot of property. A lot of property. It took me, I went out and bought a really nice zero-turn lawnmower so I could cut the grass faster. I had a wheel horse lawnmower, and it literally took me 8 hours just to cut the grass around the house on the wheel horse. I bought the zero turn, and it took me 2.5 hours to cut the grass. Now, it's not the weed eating, that's not anything else. And I had to work 6-7 days a week to make the payment. So yeah, I had this big house and I had all this room, but I never got to enjoy it. And that's why when you guys see this is our living room. We don't have living room furniture. Our living room is music. So that's how we are. You know, we are into music. We're into motorcycles. Those are our hobbies. And I had to quit flying my drones. If you look up here, I don't know if it'll come up on the camera or not. Now you can see the tail of one of the helicopters right there. Let me switch cameras again. Let's see if you guys can get to see no, it's not going to show it. Anyway, right above me here is a 750 class helicopter, and I got really into helicopters for about 7 years. It's an extremely expensive hobby. Is it more expensive than music? I'm going to say yes. If I have an accident with my Agile, my 750 class helicopter, let's say I'm flying and I tank it, it's most likely going to be $1,500 to fix it. If I'm playing my guitar and I drop it, odds are it's not going to have a catastrophic injury unless I pop the headstock off of it. How often do I drop my guitar? I haven't dropped a guitar in a long time. You break a string, you know, you might break a tuner, you might have an output jack go bad. But if you stop and think about it, guitars are pretty rugged. So as long as you maintain them and you buy a nice guitar, it's not something that every weekend that you play it, it may be destroyed. So it for me, music was one of the keepers. and I couldn't go to the airfield, eat out, and wreck a helicopter, and it was a $2,000 weekend. So I keep it up there just to remember. I have some videos of flying and videos of me doing speed runs with my X3. It was a part that I really enjoyed. But we still got our motorcycles, so we try to do that, and we try to do music. And I know several people in the chat do the motorcycle thing too. I love motorcycles just as much as I love music. The two are awesome. There's nothing like playing music, and there's nothing like getting out on a motorcycle and just riding, seeing the country. It's completely different when you're in a car, if that makes sense. When you're on a bike and you're out just taking a ride, it's like the scenery is, you're more apt to look around and see what's going on. Maybe that's because you're on a motorcycle and you're more intuitive on what the other traffic's doing and where you're going, but you pay more attention to the scenery. Even if it's areas that you've went by 100 times. You're looking at the side of the road, you're checking out the farms or the buildings or whatever it is, you're more in touch with what you're doing on a motorcycle. And I think I can equate that to guitars, because certain guitars that I play, I get that feeling I'm connected to it, and that brings out that creativity when you're playing. So that's why I kind of did those two items. I don't know if you guys had other hobbies other than music, but you can tell we're pretty much into music pretty hard. It gets pretty scary. And believe it or not, guys, we do not have a layaway right now. Do we have a layaway?
Nope.
No, we don't have a layaway. We do have two payments. We're still making a payment on one of Linnell's guitars, and I'm making payments on the camera and the Sire I just bought. So it's never ending, if that makes sense. One, I'm trying to make the channel better as far as quality, and me, when I see something cool, like a cool guitar, I'm like, yeah, I gotta get that. And that brings me up to our next thing that I want to kind of go over, guys. I want to show you guys something. Where was it?
Devastator said giveaways are out now then.
No, we have the guitar giveaway here.
That's what he means. They're not on layaway, they're out.
Yeah, they're out. They are here. I'm trying to find this. Maybe, where was that post that Steve put up on?
About what?
The blue guitar that we just looked at earlier. Wasn't that General? I'm trying to find it. Steve posted, I really wanted to post this.
It's in guitar and music equipment.
Guitar and music equipment. Oh, there it is. So I want you guys to see this. If you didn't go to Discord, okay, this is definitely something that everyone needs to see. This is a stupid deal for this guitar. This is a Sterling by Music Man. And I guess it's stupid deal of the day. So I guess tomorrow this deal won't be there. I don't know. But $349 for this guitar? Are you kidding me? Yeah. Check that thing out. It's $349. It's a Sterling. They make good products. I'm trying to click on it to, oh, there we go.
It's just weird looking.
Check out, it's got a Sterling bridge, two humbuckers. Got your switch right here. That's the headstock. Square inlays. I mean, that is like budget guitar pricing. So if you're into that and you were thinking about buying one, now might be the time to think about it. Go to Discord. The link is there. Or if Steve wants to put the link in the chat, I know he can. $350 for a Music Man Sterling. That's a cool body shape. Oh, something else. Let me find it. If you like the Kraken, if you know what the Kraken is, let me see if I can find the Kraken. The Kraken is on sale too. It's not as stupid of a deal, but it is a good deal. So here's the Kraken, and they have the Kraken for $749. It's $200 off. This is a stupid guitar. We were going to buy this when Steve posted it, and we started tooling around with Musician Friend, because Linnell was thinking about buying a Jackson Kelly. And I said, honey, you got to come in here and check out this Kraken. And she was like, what's a Kraken? And I said, well, you're thinking about that Jackson Kelly. So why not get this Sterling? Check that thing out. Is it an inexpensive guitar? No, it's not. But the Music Man version is like $3,000. It's a sharp guitar. There's a headstock. Or Kazan, however you want to pronounce that. Kraken, Kazan. I think it's a cool guitar. I don't know what you guys think about it. But that's on sale for $749. They've got a couple of the really stupid deals that once you click on one of these links, they've got the cutlasses for $279. I did notice that.
I don't know. I might have to end up getting that one.
The Cutlass $279. Yeah, that Kraken's a cool guitar.
No, I don't think it's a Kraken. I don't know.
Or Kazan, however you pronounce it. Now here's an interesting one. This one, if it wasn't for everyone knows I'm not into the birds. I'm not a bird guy. But check that out. It's on sale. This is the SE Studio. Freaking awesome guitar. That's on sale for $599, guys. I have yet to pick up a Paul Reed SE that hasn't played stupid well. Boy, somebody's really posting something on the phone. But there's several deals. If you guys are into it, here's an open box Sterling for $179. I mean, we are now. Granted, this thing's got some damage. It's probably why it's $179. But the other ones, I think it was $279 for the Cutlass, and that's new in the box. So that's kind of hard to beat, guys. That's like budget guitar pricing. And I know you guys are frugal about your money, so I figured I would, bring this up in the stream since Steve had put it up. I really like this one. I don't think it's on sale. Oh, it is. Well, a little bit of a sale. If you see this color in person, this orange, it is stupid pretty. Again, it's got freaking birds on the... I like the dots. Paul Reed Smith, if you're listening, I get it. You got this bird fetish or something. Make us some guitars with some different inlays. That's probably the only reason why I haven't bought a Paul Reed Smith is the freaking birds. I don't know. They're starting to grow on me.
Chief Joe said, my wife says the birds are always flying in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I don't get, I don't know. They do make some models just with dots. I think they could do a dot with a line or something, or maybe a crescent moon. something for somebody like me that's not really into the birds. That's the back of the guitar. This is I think their prettiest stock color. This picture isn't doing it justice. It pops in person. I like that one. There's a couple good deals on here, guys. And they got some expensive ones too, but there's a couple good deals. I've never heard of this brand, but for $89, Rogue RR100. I thought about ordering this guitar. It's 89 freaking dollars. Brand new. It's $89. That's like cheap Grote pricing. I think the cheapest Grote on Amazon right now, I think is like $89. So I am unfamiliar with this brand. I don't know if this is their like in-house beginner brand. If someone has bought one of these and knows, I would be curious, what did you think of it? Notice right here, it's $89 and there's no scarf joint. So this is a solid piece of wood.
Mr. Fat said Rogue is popular on Guitar Center.
Yeah. I'd never heard of this brand. But there's no shiplap joint. And I'm not seeing a joint here, across here on the headstock, where they piece this.
Beretta Vandy said Rogue worse than a Glary.
Is it worse than Glary? I'm unfamiliar with the brand. I just say it's 89 bucks. So he's saying Glary quality. So that means, for me, that means stay away. There's certain guitars that you guys can buy, and they're decent guitars. Maybe you just need to put pickups in it, or maybe it just needs, maybe some tuning keys. But Glary, every Glary I've ever seen, the neck's warped on it, the awful tuners, awful pickups, just bad finish. Yeah, it's a Glary. They're very cheap. I was kind of hoping someone would say, yeah, I bought one, and it was okay. I put pickups in it. It's a good beater guitar. $89, as long as the neck and the body's decent, it's a mod platform. I wouldn't expect it to have, excellent pickups on it. It's 89 bucks. But is it good enough to give to a beginner and they can play it? Is it easy? Can you take it out of the box, give it a good setup? How playable is it?
Wicked Fester said a little clunky and rough. I set one up for my son to flip.
Oh, okay. What about the frets? Were the frets good? Did you have to level the, clunky? Does that mean like the saddles, or is it just the tuners, click, click? Now, I would expect on a $90 guitar, tuners. So let's say you wanted to do a budget build. Could you take that guitar and put, maybe a Music Lily tuner on it for 50 bucks, some guitar head pickups for 60. Okay, now you got 200 bucks on it. Would that be wasting your money on that platform, Wicked Fester, or?
He said frets were okay, neck felt clunky.
Okay.
Steve said Rogue was crap back in the 90s. Might be good bones to mod. I don't know.
All right. Well, I'd never heard of them, guys, so I figured I'd bring it up.
Mr. Fat said, nah, can't be Glary level. Those Rogue or Guitar Center comes in many price range.
Yeah, I didn't research it. I know that one's on sale for 89 bucks. So I'm like, okay. If someone wants to get one for their kid, I hate to say that.
Wicked.
But I've had kids. Sometimes they stick with things, and sometimes they don't. So you want to kind of see if they're going to stick with it.
Wicked Fester said you could fix it, but I'd go used Squire.
Right. There's a used Squire at Shenandoah Music right now. The only reason I didn't buy it, it's got the Fender 70 headstock on it.
Roger
It just looks out of place.
Roger said for video camera he uses for his shows is a Zoom Q2N 4K handy video recorder. He said it works for him, worth checking out.
Yeah, I looked at the Zooms. Zoom has two models that are very nice. The only reason I didn't go with the Zoom was the sensor. The aperture on the sensor on the Zoom was smaller. This one's 1.3. It's very large for this style camera. Most of those are under an inch or something. But yeah, I looked at the Zoom, really high ratings, and they say the picture quality is phenomenal. They don't crash. I didn't see anyone saying the Zooms overheat, so that was another plus. And the Zoom was a little cheaper. I want to say the Zoom I was looking at was like $350 for the Zoom, and it was 4K, 30 frames. It might have been 60. It was at least 30 frames a second at 4K. This camera is 4K, 60 frames a second, or I can go up. It's not 6K. There's a level kind of in between, and it'll do 30 frames a second at that. I've got this one set at 4K right now. I don't think if you went to 6K that on YouTube you would see it. If someone has experience with that, I'd be kind of curious. But after you compress it, after YouTube compresses it and does all that, how much difference is there going to be between a 6K and a 4K camera? I think as YouTube continues to make money, which they're making money, and people's computers at home get better, and as our connection, our hubs get better, and we can transfer more information, per second and per minute, I think YouTube and all these other platforms will go to 6K. Right now, I just think there's a limit on how much information our technology can transfer over how we're doing it. Whether it's, RG 57, 56, or 8 cable, or whether or not you're using fiber optic and the protocol. Once they get that protocol down and we can transfer more bits, per second, I think that all these streaming platforms will up it. But yeah, right now we're doing 4K. I didn't decrease the stream quality so my computer could handle it.
It's Vox time.
Yep, it's Vox time. So as long as I can continue to stream at this level, I'm okay with it, guys. I think this camera it's good enough. I want the channel to grow. I don't want us to stay at where we're at. It's a slow mover. I think it takes a certain person to watch our guitar reviews, and that's fine. We just want to be an honest channel, and that's why I bring up the struggles that I had with my wing rack. If you guys get on YouTube and you watch these reviews, they're going to tell you the wing rack is, they're not going to tell you the problems. Okay, I'm going to tell you it's a great unit. It's not flawless, and you will have to change some cables, and you've got a large learning curve. It's not as perfect and plug and play as you're led to believe, and that's what the channel's about. Do I think I made the wrong decision? No. The only unit I think may have served me better would have been the TF Yamaha rack. And the only reason I say that is Yamaha builds bulletproof products, and 90% of the time when Yamaha releases a product, the bugs are fixed. They don't rush a product to market before it's technically ready. And Behringer did with the wing. When the wing first came out, there was all kinds of issues with bio upgrades, firmware updates, and it took them 6 months. Everyone was having this connection with Windows, or if you were a Mac user, if you were a Linux user, and it was a real fiasco the first 3 months. Yamaha, on the other hand, they kind of they got certain people, they send that product out, and they go, you guys tell us what works, what doesn't work, and what you're having problems with. And they kind of do that for a couple months, get over the major problems, try to fix as much as they can, and then put it out. I don't think you can fix it all because everyone's got a different computer, blah 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 blah, different equipment. But I think Yamaha just goes that extra mile and they try to make the product as good as they can before they release it. And I think the TF rack would have been a little bit better and a little more durable, but I would have lost some features. So I think we say it many, many times, it's give and take. Okay, guys, if you haven't already, please go down and hit the thumbs up button. The more thumbs up that we get, YouTube sees it as interaction, and they're going to push the stream out for new people. We really want new people to come in. And the main reason for that, guys, is the more people that come in and post and can voice their opinion, the better off it is. Just like, what did I just say? I'd never heard of Rogue. Okay? We could be talking budget guitars and someone could come in and say, what about Rogue at Musician's Friend? That's information that I was unaware of, if that makes sense. And I think that's what we need, because I miss things. You know, when we're talking what's better for this or what's better for that, you guys post in, well, I have this or I saw that, and it leads us down a new path, and it might be a product that works better for us. So your all's input is really key. It really is. All right, guys, go down, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe. If you've been chatting, you didn't have to subscribe to chat, but I want your subscription. We work hard here. Please go and look at the 80 plus guitar reviews on this channel and some of the tutorial videos on leveling frets and stuff. We are really trying to be different. It's Fox time. That means we're going to take a 5-minute break. You guys can hit the restroom, get something to drink, get a snack, and we'll be back in about 8 minutes. And I got to make sure I hit the right button. I think it's this one. Okay. I didn't get any ice cream. By talking ice cream. And before anyone else asks, no, I did not fix the pickup yet. And that brings me to something that I want to say. I really, I have to say I'm sorry for a couple things. I don't want anyone thinking bad of me, okay? But work for me lately has just been a lot. And I don't know if it's my age or what, but, you know, the doctor told me a couple years ago, he goes, hey, dude, man, you're burning the candle on both ends. You can't keep this lifestyle up. And really the past 2 months, since it started getting warm, it was still cool out. I haven't been feeling too well. And I brought this up to my doctor last time I went in. It was over my knee surgery, wasn't it, hon?
Yeah, I think so.
I told my doctor, I said, you know, doc, I just don't feel well. And he looked at me and he goes, you know, 80% of the patients that look at me and say that, he said, I'm not trying to scare you. He goes, 75, 80% of them are dead in 6 months. And I can't put my finger on it, but I just haven't felt well. I'll have days I just don't feel good. And am I near death? No, I don't think I am anyway. But he kind of made that point where sometimes we just don't feel good, and sometimes that just means we're doing too much. And my apology goes to anyone that has a guitar here. I know. One, Devastator, man, I'm sorry. I will get your guitar finished and get it to you. It's a finish on the paint. That's no big deal. Jeep's guitar, I'm struggling finding a 24 spline knob that has a set screw. I found some knobs with set screws that will fit, but there's no spline count. What it does is they've emulated an 18 and 24 spline, and it has notches in it. It grabs either one, and then the set screw locks it. Really don't want those for that guitar. And Jeep sent it here because the push-pull was acting funny, and the knob was going down. Since it's not locked on, you just push the knob on. When you use the push-pull, it would push down the potentiometer too far and rub the pick guard.
Devastator said, no worries, Avery. We just want to hear it, though.
Yeah, so I got that guitar down here. Now, I did give a post Trucker Bob's Electronics is done. So I am going to start doing some rework on that guitar. And there's another guitar downstairs. There's actually 2 more. So really the past 3 months, I have not spent very much time in the shop. Everything's been backed up. And I've been telling everyone, I told Linnell, no more guitars. There's just, I can't do both anymore. Not until either work slows down or I get a couple months where I get some of the stuff off of me and I'm able to do that and then still get up and do my job. YouTube is not my job. I don't imagine this gig ever being something that I can pay my bills with. Another thing, I don't know if I'd want to, because I look at some of these content creators and I used to, I don't know, I won't say, what's a term I could use? I mean, I still pick on some of them for being, budget brand loyal. And the reason I think they do these things, it's easier to sell 10 budget guitars than one Gibson. Let's say you have an affiliate link to Murphy's Lab, and you might make $300 commission on that Murphy Lab guitar. Well, let's say, Joey Smoey Popcorn Factory makes a guitar and they offer you $20 or $30 to sell one, and it's a $150 guitar, and you've got 50,000 or 40,000 subs, and you sell 10 or 15 of them, you've made more money. And you've reached more people because more people are more apt to spend less money. Is that the case with all budget guitars? I don't think so. I'm not saying that. We've reviewed some here that are great guitars. They've never reached out to me and done anything. Very few companies reach out to us. We had 2 companies that I just looked at the emails they sent. Not interested. I'm not. I'm not interested for one reason. It changes the way the channel operates. Okay? It does. And I don't care what the person says, it changes the way the channel operates. It's like when you do something and you're like, oh, maybe it's okay. And you think about it and you're like, okay. And then 2 months you're like, well, I did that. I'll take it a little further. I think once you go down that path, and I could be wrong, maybe you can't recover from it, or maybe there is a sweet spot. I just haven't seen an affiliate program other than that one that contacted us. I didn't get back a hold of them. It was a guitar lesson program. And we looked it up, and they had great ratings, online as far as what people thought of them. And we just, at the time, I just decided not to do it. I didn't want to push a program that I wasn't necessarily taking. And there's no way I can go through 500 episodes of guitar lessons and say, yeah, this is pretty solid. I can watch 1 or 2, and maybe the 2 I watched sucked, and I go, no, it's no good. Maybe I just watched the 2 bad ones. So I was kind of like, I really can't look at this and tell you if it's good, bad, or different. Now, I will say this. Linnell's looking at a program right now. She wants to take online guitar lessons. We're going to try something next payday, and she's going to sign up for something, and we're going to give her a couple months, and we're going to tell you, hey, what we think of it. I'm not going to tell you which program it is until she does it for a little while. And then we'll post back to you. Because I think nowadays with computers and stuff, the day of going into a store and sitting in front of someone, I don't recommend it. For one, you have to retain everything that's put in front of you. I don't care whether you're learning audio, video stuff, or mixing console, or how to use your Line 6 stomp. If you can find a video format, something that you can click on, you can watch over and over and over and over again, and it's laid out good, you can always go back. Well, what were they doing there? And you can watch it. You can go back, slow it down, re-listen to it. And if it's over your head right now, that's fine. Maybe in 6 or 7 months as you progress, watching other videos on the topic, you can go back and go, oh, okay, now I get it. So she's going to try something and just see how it works. But that's how this channel works. The only place that's done much for us, well, the only place that's done anything for us is Shenandoah Music. And those guys are great. We went there today, talked to them. They're taking a vacation next week. I don't know why they do it. And I'll be honest with you, why would they do it? Because most of my audience does not live in the Shenandoah Valley. Who were we talking with? Was Jason today? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Jason made a comment. He goes, I really like your reviews. You're honest about it. You take price point into consideration, and you just go over what the guitar is, good, bad, or indifferent. And that's what we're trying to do. And I think with that being said, that's exactly why you don't see companies reaching out to me. Because every company's mass producing these guitars. And if they're going to send me a product, odds are it's coming from one of the distributors, and they don't know. Is it a good one or is it a bad one? Let's face it, guys. I'm going to say everyone watching tonight, we're all buying what I call fast guitars. They're made fast. They're production-based instruments. No one here is buying one-off custom guitars. And if we are, there's still, I'm going to say, there's still going to be like PRS or Jackson, something that's CNC'd, and maybe the end person is one of their master builders, and they're setting it up, they're doing the front work. But most of that guitar is done on the CNC. Is there anything wrong with that? Absolutely not. A good CNC is very repeatable. That's the point. It does things miraculously the same. Wherein in the old days, in the 60s, they were using pin routers with templates. And this body might have come off the machine a little better than this body, and then the sander had to fix it. Nowadays, the product coming off the machine is extremely consistent. So you're starting to see more and more budget brand guitars that have good body work. Why? Because most of it isn't done by hand anymore. It's done by computers, and it's extremely accurate. I'm sitting here holding this guitar. This guitar was done on a CNC. It's a production-based guitar. This is my best guitar. It's my best playing guitar. But I'm not deluding myself saying that this is a high-end instrument. I can't outplay this guitar. It's far more guitar than Avery can play. But it also pushes me because it is a great guitar. And I can get this level guitar now because of CNC and programming and stuff. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, there would have been no way I could afford a neck-through, 5-piece neck guitar like this. With this kind of bridge, the nice tuners, it would have been out of my price point. Because this would have been a custom-made guitar, by Charvel or Jackson or one of these companies, Robin, that were charging back in 90, 91, 92, they were $3,500. We'll take Kramer out because Kramer didn't really offer a true custom shop guitar. And there's brands, I'll say Robin, Zion, companies that people don't hear too much about. Those were the companies doing the one-off, really fancy things. Imagine this guitar 30 years ago. I mean, it's stupid. It's stupid now. But 30 years ago, it would have been more stupid. The guitars like this were made 30 years ago. But we didn't have YouTube. If we didn't see a major artist playing it, and it wasn't in Guitar Player magazine or something, we didn't know about it. Now we have YouTube. So we get to see all the stuff that from these manufacturers now that can do some advertising, and we get to see that product. Before, you didn't see, well, you just didn't see, Robin advertising in every Guitar Player magazine. You didn't see it. For them, it wasn't cost effective. They were more known because this recording artist or that recording artist knew this guy that had bought a guitar and he spoke to this person, and it was word of mouth in the professional music era. Now, it's completely different. Social media, content creators, influencers, they try to push this product, and then we see it, and then it's like, do we need it? I guess that's my point. Everything now has gotten crazy. It really has. I mean, look at the guitars that we have. I mean, I played this guitar today, when it was yesterday, and every time I pick it up, I instantly realize just how stupid and how well the guitar plays. And I say that, and I got this unlocked. I did some weird tuning, so let me retune it. meant to lock the bridge. Oh, that's why. If I learn how to tune a guitar, guys, it'd be better. It's got a floating bridge, so now I gotta go back through them all. Play it a little bit, try to get it semi-close. Alright, I'm going to lock it so I can play with the tremolo bar. Oh, I took my tools downstairs. I cleaned up. So I was playing around with this thing and I unlocked it so I could do drop D. And that's why I kind of, here lately, guys, I've been doing a lot of alternative tuning. So if you notice, I've been playing a lot of hardtail guitars just for that reason. Everything about the guitar, when I play it, especially when I'm playing like the Ibanez's and stuff, the guitar is just so slick. And it's effortless to play, and you don't have to strike the note very hard. It's just... The notes just come right out on it. And I don't really have another guitar that plays as effortlessly as this one. So, I don't know where I was going with it. I really don't. I just, this week, I kind of really, like I said, I've been having a hard time at work. So I came home and I was tired. I picked this thing up and I was just like, wow. You know, and it's like the Pacifico. I put it up there now. I play that thing and I realize how good the guitar sounds. So I guess my point in all this is, when you watch the reviews, you know, we all get gas. And I only, you know, it's called the gas station on Reverb on Discord for a reason. I look at the guitars I have, and it's amazing. If you would have said, you know, 20 years ago, I had 3 Peaveys that I played. And I kind of stuck with that, with the Peaveys. One, because I couldn't afford another guitar. I was working and I was, you know, playing in a couple of little cover bands and they worked for me. So I guess my whole point in all this is trying to get equipment, work through your problems, you know, and just don't forget to love why you started. We started because we like playing. And I don't think you have to have a $5,000 guitar to love playing. I think you can do it on a $200 guitar. You can. And you don't need a $1,000 amplifier. Not nowadays. You can get these little, like the GP5, GP50, get you some headphones, and you could sit in the corner and play. If you want an amplifier and you want something decent, I mean, look at the freaking Katana at $350. You can go to a music store now. You can buy a nice guitar, get yourself a katana, guitar cable, and a tuner, okay? And you can get a nice guitar, $1,000. I mean, really. Get your tuner, get your cable, get your strap, and you have nothing. That's kind of unheard of, and that's new. So in the last stream, we were talking about where's your best bang for the buck. Well, it's not new. I hate to say that. If you can find used that has been well taken care of, that's the way to buy.
Wicked Fester said a GP5 with NAM files.
Yeah.
Weren't you all talking about that today?
Yeah, we were talking about the NAM files today. I don't know how they're going to approach it, because now we have this new A2 format. So I don't know how that's going to work with the GP5, GP50, GP200. I know we're going to see massive changes in the next 6 to 7 months, guys, with the new A2 NAM files. One, it's a lot less CPU dependent. It sounds better, and it still runs all the old NAM stuff, okay? It's easily convertible. So a lot of people are taking their old files, doing something to them, and make them A2 compliant. And well, even on YouTube, you know, listening to the difference between the standard file and the A2 file for NAM, I can hear it. And that's saying a lot, because YouTube really compresses you know what out of the signal. So I don't know if the GP5, if they're going to come out with an update to where you can run the A2 files. So if you're on the fence right now and you're thinking about buying something and you're thinking about NAM, I would wait. Wait and see which manufacturers step up and release something that'll either make what they already have work with the new A2 files, or whether or not they need to change some of their hardware, okay, to make it work. It's not going to be a CPU thing. The A2 file sounds better and requires less system resources. So I don't think they're going to have to do hardware changes. I think it's going to be something in their protocol that they'll have to change, and then they'll have to do an update for those people that already have the unit, or to buy the unit so they can run A2. I am definitely not the authority on it. I'm just saying the A2 is going to be the future. The one issue NAM had was it required a lot of computer. So this new A2 platform, it's really cutting the CPU usage way down. If they did it this time, I'm going to say give it, well, how long's it been out? 3 or 4 years now? Well, it's been out a long time, but it's getting more and more user-friendly. I think in 2 more years, you're going to see capture devices, modeling, and a lot of these architectures that we see will probably disappear. I think capture devices, I think we've already seen it. And I'm talking out of my butt here because I'm not someone that uses captures. I think it had its time, and I see that we're moving forward, if that makes sense. Will NAM be that new forward thing for us? With the new A2, I could see where it could. You could just get online, download something. You know, it's stupid simple. It's open architecture. That's what makes it nice. It's open source. So everyone is working on it and trying to make it better. And there's not some big corporation somewhere making a buck holding back a patch or an update. It's open source. There's a lot of advantages to open source. And I know open source because I run open source. Well, I used to run open source protocols on my helicopters.
Wicked Fester said the official NAM page has both A1 and A2 files for most of the captures.
Yeah. But you have to have something that will read the A2 file. An older unit that did NAMM will not do it. Something has to be. I've listened to a couple people talk about what needs to be done. I don't completely understand it, but if thinking about getting into the NAMM and buying hardware, I would wait, do your research, make sure whatever you're thinking about can do the new A2 stuff. And I'm pretty sure that they're going to be able to fix them all. Because it's not like, well, this new protocol, you need more memory, you need more CPU. You need less memory and less CPU. I don't know how they made it sound better and used less memory and less CPU. But whoever this open source person was that figured it out, he's a freaking genius. Because normally, if something gets better, it taxes your system more. He made it better, and it taxes your system less. That's a win-win across every, if you tried now, and your computer and your software just didn't handle it, it might now. You might not need to upgrade the things that you thought you had to upgrade to run NAMM in A2 because it requires less. So that's going to open up a lot of people that were struggling before are now going to be able to use it. You don't need a $2,000 Kemper. You don't. A lot of these inexpensive units run NAMM now. It's going to really change things. I don't know where it's going, but it's going to change things. And I know Fractal, they've already jumped on the bandwagon. So if you've got a Fractal unit, I know you're deep into modeling. You're going to be able to do both. Quad Cortex, you're going to be able to do captures, modeling, and it's going to be kind of unlimited. I'm still running my Stomp. I want to do more upgrades for the channel, but I am looking. I just think right now, I think it always changes. Technology always changes. I just don't want to jump the gun on something and then find out 6 months later, if that makes sense. So I'm just letting everyone know, if you're thinking about buying something, you might want to hold off. Let companies develop what they need to develop and release new firmware for their existing product to work, or companies coming out with new products for this new A2 architecture. It won't take long, because anyone that's running A2 now, there's already companies that have released updates to make their units work in A2. If theirs won't work now, they're missing out, and they're going to make something pretty quick and make changes to where it's going to work for you in the future. So just maybe give it a break, hold off for a month or two, see who comes up to the finish line and who has the best price. I don't know, Vailton's been having some issues with upgrading some of their pieces. I mean, in most cases, it's a $200 unit. So are you buying it just to keep it as it is? Or are you buying something that you want to be able to upgrade as new things come out? The Quad Cortex, yes, you paid more money for it, but it's more updatable. Vailton seems to be dragging their feet or not willing to do some updates on some of their units. You didn't pay $500 for it, you paid $200 for it. So maybe it's their way of forcing you into their next product. I don't know. And it could be a hardware issue, something that they've put in the unit and there's a limitation and preventing them from doing it. I don't know. But if someone has a point of view on that, I would be curious to see what you guys think. I still don't think tubes are going to go anywhere. I think the tube people will be less. And it's not due to the desire. It's going to be due to cost. Because everything we're talking about right now is fake. It's fake. Just like an operating system in your computer. Your computer's still the same. It's the fake layer putting over it that you see and interact with. But the hardware is there. And that hardware doesn't require potentiometers, sliders, wires, a chassis. All these things that a tube amp has in it that modelers don't need. Okay, the modeler, you open it up, it's a big computer board with MSDs on it, or whatever, those little microcapacitors. There's very few potentiometers, very few point-to-point wiring things. There's no tubes that cost extra money to manufacture. There's no big cabinet. You know, the cost to manufacture, even my wing rack, okay, is pennies on the dollar compared to manufacturing an analog 40-channel board.
You got a super chat from Jupe.
Ooh, thank you, Mr. Jupe. That's what helps the channel, believe me. And that's one of the reasons why we kind of slowed down on some of the guitar giveaways. I'm trying to let the channel kind of pay for some of the things. I've been doing it, paying for most of it. And I'm trying to do a 50-50 split now. There's a couple more things that I need to fix, but I think this right here is working pretty good. So we did, just so you guys know, we did pick up the guitar giveaways. I just have to figure out which one we're going to do first. There's 2 here. So we're covered for the next couple months. I just don't know which one I want to do first. Probably announce it this Thursday, since we're not doing Tech Talk. Maybe we can announce our new guitar giveaway. And I want to add a little bit of a restriction this time. I hate to do that, but this is a nice guitar. And I think we need to come up with a way of, I hate to use the term milk it, but I kind of want this one to gain some traction, because I really feel this is one hell of a guitar, and it's going to be free to whoever wins it. And I'm not going to ask anyone to do a donation or a raffle or anything else, but I think this is not something that I can do every other month. For this,
Devastator said review the next giveaway on Thursday.
we can do that. We can do that. It's a heck of a guitar, and I just want to give back a little bit. I mean, if you stop and think about it, you guys paid for the guitar through Super Chats. So it's my way of saying thank you. I can't stress this enough. There's no way I could have found a better guitar for this asking price. The guitar punches at the $1,000 guitar mark all day long. All day long. It's a stupid nice guitar. I'm going to say, in my guitar collection, it's as far as playability and feel, I'm going to put it at the 75-80% level on all my guitars. It's at the top of every guitar that I own as far as the way it sounds and the way it plays. It's a nice guitar. Now, you may not like the manufacturer, you may not like the color, or whatever it is. If you're a Jackson fanboy or a Schecter fanboy, or I don't know, Ibanez, or a Leo James fanboy, you'll probably throw popcorn. But every company just has a guitar. I mean, think about Gretsch. Gretsch is known for their hollow bodies with the big Gigsby's. They make a hell of a guitar. It's a hell of a guitar. Look at Schecter. This guitar. They're known for the C1. You can get a C1 for $500-600. The C1 is a heck of a guitar. The Mach, heck of a guitar. Ibanez, the Jim, the RGAs, the RGs. Every company that you guys can think about, you can think about something they make that everyone just goes, yeah, that's a stupid nice guitar. Even Gibson. As much as you guys may not like Gibson, the Les Paul, the Explorer, the SG, these are great guitars. Now, did you get a great one? I don't know. But they made great guitars. Exact same thing with everyone poo-pooing Fender right now. Fender makes good guitars. Is every Fender great? No. But when I think Fender, I think Telecaster. I think Stratocaster. Those are the two and they make other guitars, a Jazzmaster. They're well known for their basses. People swear by the P bass.
Steve
you know.
said Court with a question mark.
Court's made some kick-ass guitars too. That KX line, the 280, 290 Select line they make, they're nice freaking guitars.
Beretta Vandy said, I play a pink guitar. Color doesn't bother me.
Yeah, but that's a Vandenberg, man. No one can pick on you about a Van. It's just a badass guitar. That guitar could be pink with purple polka dots, and usually, dude, it's a Vandenberg. You know, you can get away with that.
JR's Custom Shop said, I promise if Fret Track gets $1,000 monthly revenue, Avery, I'll donate towards a new giveaway guitar.
Oh, cool. I like that. Thank you, man. But this is a nice guitar. Just think of a brand, and you can come up with every brand just has that guitar. And like whoever said Court, give Court a little slack. You know, Court makes nice guitars. Court makes a lot of guitars. I don't know if they made this guitar or not. No, this guitar is made in Korea. So I don't know who actually made this guitar. But we have a lot of guitars, Court guitars in this house. I'm looking at 1, 2, there's 3 in this room, manufactured by Cortex. They're all 3 different names on the headstocks, but they're made by Court. Good guitar. I don't know if you guys remember Phantom. There was a guitar company called Phantom. And before Earl Slick started making his own guitar, his first signature guitar was by Phantom. Phantom made some awesome freaking guitars. Well, they weren't stupid expensive. You could buy a $500 Phantom, and it had a Floyd Rose, 1 pickup. It was basically a Kramer Beretta with a little ghost on it that said Phantom. And it was $500. It was a third of the price of the Kramer, and it was an Earl Slick model. When I think Phantom, I think that Earl Slick model. Why? It was stupid good. That's my point. So you hear people say, well, I don't like Jackson. Well, Jackson makes good guitars. You know, when I think Jackson, I hate to say it, but I think more about the V when I think Jackson. And they're probably more well known for the Dinky, I guess, than the V. The offset V. But when I think Jackson, the first image I get is kind of like an offset V. Second would be the Dinky. I think everyone could agree with that. That's kind of, when I think Charvel, I think basically a Fender Strat. That's the look that I look. It's got the Fender, the old Charvel Fender headstock with the Strat body. When I think Charvel, that's what I think about. I think about a humbucker single, with a Floyd Rose, locking trim, cut down thin neck, just a cut super Strat. You know, it's basically a Fender that someone's been hot rodded. That's when I think Charvel, that's the Charvel I think about. When I think Music Man, I think the Kaizen or whatever that thing's called, and I think Eddie Van Halen's guitar. The HP2 or the Axis, I think Music Man calls it. Those are the 2 guitars I think about when I think Music Man. I know I'm missing some brands. You guys probably have a brand. Washburn. Yeah, Mr. Fats just brought up Washburn. When I think Washburn, and I hate to say it, I think Nuno. And that probably wasn't Washburn's biggest guitar. But I think Nuno Buttercup. That's who I think when I think Washburn. And that brings me up to another brand, BC Rich. They made a lot of guitars. When I think BC Rich, I just immediately picture a Warlock. Even though everyone really likes the Mockingbird they make, but when someone first mentions BC Rich, I think the Warlock. That's just the one I think about. Oh, BC Rich, Warlock. Someone just put the HB2 Ernie Ball guitars. So nice. The HB2 was technically Peavey. Ernie Ball's, I think, was the Access, is what Ernie Ball actually called it. And I don't think they called it the Access until Eddie Van Halen left. So I'm not too sure what the model was called when Eddie was playing Music Man. If someone knows what the actual model was called then, I don't remember. Michael says, I have an old Washburn EC36, but it needs some work. Washburn made great guitars. They were more, Washburn actually made some kick-butt acoustic guitars too. I guess my point in this is, think of a manufacturer and you're going to have a picture of a certain guitar, even though they made 5 or 6 different ones. There's just that one that every manufacturer, was it the Access, Wicked Fester? I thought it was named something different. It's pretty sure it was the Access. I know it's called the Access now, but I couldn't remember if it was called the Access then or not. Peavey was the Wolfgang. JR, you might be right, and I think they renamed it to HP2 when Eddie Van Halen left and started EVH with Fender. So I think JR is right on that. It was called the Wolfgang, and then they converted it to the HP2, whatever that means, after he left. Yeah, JR says yes. Always the Access, as far as I know, Wicked Fester. Yeah, I've never owned a Music Man. I'd like to get one. When Eddie Van Halen, he took the Wolfgang name with him, so Peavey had to rename it the HP2. That's Beretta Vandy. Yeah. I remember all these things, but, sometimes I have a brain fart or a squirrel moment. John says Area. Man, Area, the Area Pro, when I was playing out, there was a couple cats playing Area Pros. I don't remember Area Pro, what they were called. I just remember it was like a Super Strat. And that guitar punched way above its weight. I don't think that Area Pro was like a big name brand. I don't remember who marketed them or where you got them. But I do know some of the guys I played with showed up with the Area Pro. I always forget about Area. Hartley, yeah, I believe, when Hartley Peavey, there at the end, I don't think he had very much to do with Peavey. I don't know who was running Peavey, but I think that whole debacle when Peavey just locked the doors after they were on Undercover Boss, like 6 months later, they just locked the doors, didn't tell anybody. I'm pretty sure that wasn't Hartland Peavey. I think he had pretty much stepped away at that point and someone else was running Peavey. Area Pro 2 made some killer basses too. I'd never seen an Area Pro bass. People forget during COVID when a bunch of the newbies bought out Amazon brands thinking this was the golden age of cheap guitars. But us old timers remember stuff like Washburn and others. Well, Washburn made both. They made stupid expensive guitars and they made budget guitars. So I don't really consider Washburn a budget company whatsoever. Washburn's acoustics, I don't think they get enough love. I think Washburn made some awesome freaking acoustic guitars. Area Pro, they were talking about above. I don't know, did Area Pro make a really high-end guitar, or were they, $500, $600, $700 guitars? I don't remember. I don't remember them having a really high-end guitar. Yeah, Gene Simmons played the Area Pro, exactly. I remember that now. Guys, you're right. Mr. Fats just said the Amazon brands. There were brands out there that were, Peavey was one of them. You could get a Peavey Tracer for, $350, $300, and it was a solid freaking guitar. There was nothing at all wrong with a Peavey Tracer. It was built like a Russian brick you-know-what house. They sounded good, they played nice, and it was inexpensive. Same with the Washburns. Washburn made a ton of affordable guitars. And when BC Rich first started doing their first import guitars, the first 6 months, learning curve. After that, some of their imports, which was like a third of the price of the other ones, they were good guitars. Top mid-range, not quite, premium, on the area. Yeah, you still see them on Reverb come up for sale. I'm looking for an Earl Slick Phantom. That's the one I get on Reverb about every 2 or 3 months, and I type in Phantom Guitars Earl Slick, and I've yet to find one. There have been some Phantoms come up, but not the Earl Slick model. So, I just remember thinking it was cool. There was a small music shop here in town, and I remember going in and going, wow, I could buy this guitar. And I went in after payday, and he had sold it. So a couple of weeks later, I went in, there was another one. Of course, it wasn't payday. Went back to buy it during payday, it was sold. This happened 4 or 5 times where they got that guitar in, I played, it's like, oh, wow, okay. And he wouldn't hold it because I didn't have any money to put down on it. And it's like, well, I'll come back when I get paid. Come back, it was gone. But it was made by Phantom. They were just great guitars. Brad Avanti goes, yeah, I thought about bringing the Nitro out tonight. The only reason I haven't locked the tuners, and I forgot on the last stream, I went back and watched it, and I never did answer why I didn't lock the tuners. It's American made, and it uses Imperial Allen heads, and I don't have an Imperial Allen head set, so I couldn't lock the tuners. And I know my other Nitro, the tools are in that case. I just didn't get it out. So maybe this week I can open up my active Peavey, get the Allen tools out of that case, and I can lock the guitars on the nuts on the other Nitro. And the reason it was slipping, if you don't know, the Kahler locker is not made like this. Okay? Yes, you have these 3 pieces that lock down on the string and it rides over the cradle, but on the back, there's a built-in tree that the string goes through. Okay? So that tension, the string hangs up on that upper part of that tree. So if you don't lock it, it hangs up right there. And that's what it was doing that night. So people are like, oh, it's really sticking here on the nut. It's not sticking here. There's a secondary bridge that goes across that the string goes through. So the reason the Kahler nut is better is it pinches evenly on both sides. Okay? The Floyd Rose has an arc. Okay? And then if you look at the nut, there's 2 little raised pieces on the nut, and it pinches the string in both places. Kahler did it the exact opposite way. They made a flat mount that captured the top, and then the nut captures it. It's a completely different approach. Which one's better? I kind of like the Kahler version better. It eliminates this arc, and the reason that it's better, if you need to get in and adjust one string for your height, you can cut it just like you would a regular nut. With this, with the arc, you have to file that arc back into it properly so this nut locks in properly. On the Kahler, you could take that top bridge off because there's 2 screws. People go, what's these 2 screws back here for? The 2 screws is the capturing top. So when you take that off and you take these off, it's completely flat. You can get in there and just file that location for the string and drop it back down, and it pinch locks here. It's a little easier to do a setup with the Kahler. Well, I don't know if they still make them that way, but that's how they were in the early 80s. I don't know if anyone has any experience with that.
Chief Joe said that's what my Kahler had on my 83 Explorer.
Yeah, 83 Explorer, that was probably the cam bridge, the one that had the cam. I keep telling, I don't know if Jupe is still in the chat, Jupe needs a Kahler cam bridge. That's what he needs. I guarantee you, if Jupe plays a guitar that has a Kahler cam in it, he would fall in love with it. That's the bridge for Jupe. He says he likes that nice buttery feel. In the Kahler cam bridge, that's what it has. It has that just butter smooth feel. It feels like a Jazz Master tremolo, but doesn't go out of tune. That's the best way. It doesn't work like a Jazzmaster, but it has that smooth butter feel like a Jazzmaster. I don't have any Kahler cam bridges. All mine are Kahler Spiders, okay, the original Spider, and Kahler 2700 Killers. That's the only two that I have. And I'm a firm believer that the Killer was just the best bridge ever made. Now, none of my Killers have the lock mechanism. They are set up for it. So if you take the bar and you swing it like this, it locks the bridge and makes it a hardtail. And when you swing the thing up, then it becomes unlocked. And as soon as you swing it down, it locks the bridge like a hardtail. Stupid innovation. I just don't have the kit in mind. And they still make it. If I call up Kahler right now, I can order the kit to convert my 27, well, my second gen Killers. My first gen, the block is solid, it won't do it. But my second gen 2700 Killers, I could put it at. And I have 2 with the second gen, and I have 2 with the first gen 2700 Killers. And I know that sounds funny. Well, they only made them for a year and a half. The first gen was only out for about 6 months. And the locker back here that locks the string, because you don't have to cut the ball end off, the first gen has little grooves cut, like a fluting. On the second gen, they knurled them so you could grab them better. Okay? That was one of the bigger changes. And the second change was they went to a much larger post and screw on the second gen. The first gen, under hard use, the screw bent. And my Peavey, the screw is bent on. So it's bent. Now you can get, they still make replacement screws. The insert's fine. I would just need to put 2 replacement screws on it. The drawback is it's probably going to bend again. Now, he does offer an insert replacement. Okay. In the Gen 2, the insert was a larger diameter to accept the larger screw. Dave Kahler does offer an insert, okay, that is the same diameter as the original, but it fits the larger screw. The drawback is the wall diameter is very thin, but it does allow you to put the larger screw in the first gen models. I don't know what the drawback to that would be, just that it's been machined out more, but that part isn't moving anyway. It's just being pounded into the guitar body. So I don't think it would cause a problem. But on the Gen 2s, it's much larger. It's a much larger diameter bore for that screw. I think they're both great, but there was a couple differences. I just never put the kit in. So in this position, the Kahler is a fixed tail. In this position, it opens as a regular tremolo. Pull up, pull back, hardtail. Floating bridge, hardtail. It's an amazing product. I don't know if anyone has one of the new Kahlers that does that, but it's an awesome bridge. Peavey Triumph 60 amps. I played with a cat for like 5 years that played a Triumph 60. That was like his head, it wasn't a full-size head. It was a little bit smaller than like the head from a 4-speaker cabinet back here. But my gosh, that thing was loud, and it had some high gain to it. That was a kick butt Peavey amplifier. That's what my Kahler had on the 83 Explorer. Huh, I didn't know they did it that early. Huh?
That's the comment I read.
Oh, okay. I thought he was talking about as far as the locker.
Mm-mm.
Cam, if I use too heavy a string, they would bend. Yeah. Now, they did have, I don't know which models it was. Kahler had some issues with a couple of their bridges. I know Dave Kahler made them right. In the new bridges, he's been building these bridges for a long time, guys. When you go to their site, there's a bunch of different price points. And that price point means something. It's an American-made product. You get what you pay for. If you buy a $100 bridge, it's a $100 bridge, okay? If you get a new 27, they call it a 2700. It's not like the 2700 Killer. It's basically a modified Spider. If you get one of those all decked up, with like you get to pick out the block, the base plate, the material the saddle's made out of. To get a really nice one, it's going to put you basically at $600. And that's pricey for a bridge. It is. But it's USA made, and you can get parts. And it's all, if you ever do a Kahler and a metric tool fits it, you've got a fake Kahler. Everything is imperial on a Kahler. And that's a good way of telling, if you go to move something and a metric tool fits it, you have a fake Kahler. Everything is imperial on a Kahler. They make everything in-house on their machines. So it's a nice product. You're paying for that product, if that makes sense. All right, guys, it is 10:30. I want to thank everyone for coming into the stream. That's what Saturday's about. We're here to talk about products and stuff. Guys, I could talk guitars all night, but my voice, I keep forgetting I got a lapel mic now. My voice, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I'm starting to get hoarse. Been talking a lot. This coming Thursday, we're going to look at the giveaway guitar, guys. We got a guitar to give away. I haven't quite figured out how we're going to do it yet, but stay tuned. And the Super Chats is what funds that. So you guys have already paid for the guitar because it's here. Now let's find a cool home for it. And it's going to be the exact same rules. You got to be publicly subscribed, and you're going to have to go to the Discord page and say, I want entered in on the guitar giveaway. I think we are going to put a limit. I do want more entries this time. So that means everyone watching, tell your friends, you got to be publicly subscribed, go to Discord, say I want in, and I'll talk to Devastator about it. So at this point, guys, I don't care if it takes 4 months for us to reach the entry point. I really don't. I want to use this to really get some new people in. Not too many channels do it. And for this channel to do it, I want it to mean something, if that makes sense. Especially this guitar, because I know it really plays nice. All right, guys, again, I want to thank everyone for coming in. If you've got any suggestions on how to make this channel better, please post in the comments section below. You know, I know you guys have been talking in the chat, but please, at the end of the stream, click off, come right back. Because I don't think you can comment as you're watching. I don't think the comment section's open. If you can, great, go down. Please leave a comment in the comment section and talk about the stream and what you like about the channel. And if you would, share it out for new people to come in. Go down, please hit the like button for me. And if you haven't already, subscribe. We're trying to make the channel bigger. I think we have a great group of people here. I can't say that enough. Everyone in the chat, that's what it's about. Everyone talking about a product, saying their experiences, that's what it's about. We're here to learn and talk about our favorite pastime. That's this thing. This thing. All right, guys, thanks so much. We're going to do our 5-minute ending ready that lets everyone say goodbye. And I hope to see everyone Thursday night when we unveil the next guitar giveaway.
And
all right,
happy
guys.
Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
That's right. That means my son, if you're watching, you better call me. Just saying. All right, guys. Happy Father's Day, and I'll see you all this coming Thursday. Now I got to hit the right button.